podcast where best friends and next-door neighbors, Willow and Lillian, spill the tea on murder, mysteries, and other things that go bump in the night. So get your favorite teacup ready, and let's get into it. Welcome to Cruelty Podcast. This is Lillian, and with me is Merris, because it's Merris Monday.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy Pride.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm picking wrath for my gay deadly sin.
Oh, well, if I got to pick, it would be gluttony. I mean, just want to eat stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe sloth.
Both together.
Oh, you're doing a twofer.
Those two like to hold hands.
Yes. So, as I mentioned on the previous episode, which y'all didn't get to hear unless you're a patron, so that's great. I was sick for like a week.
Yeah.
And that was unfun.
Yeah.
And then this is right at the tail of our like technical issues with Will having no internet. Sorry about it, but we're back.
Right.
We're up and running.
We're returned.
We have returned. So last night I was in my room. I was resting.
Yeah.
And you, Merris, very nicely made me a cup of tea.
Yes.
And brought it to me. Mm-hmm. But I was really into my Stardew Valley game and listening to someone eviscerate Colleen Hoover books on YouTube. So I was startled when you came in the room. My first thought, because I'm an empty-headed bimbo, was, it's a vampire.
I mean, I do kind of look like one.
I mean, yeah, I'm into it, but
Yeah.
but why was that my first thought? That's stupid.
I do like that your reaction is like, werewolves.
I know.
Yeah.
So now I know on Merris Mondays we believe in everything.
Yeah.
Because it's what we do.
We're anti-scientific.
Yeah, right. Like Christians.
Yeah.
But I don't have a fear of vampires, and I don't think they're real.
I feel like that your initial reaction to seeing me is accurate.
I mean, you would make a hot vampire.
I'm like a chubbier Dracula.
I'm into it. A very small Dracula. I don't know why that was my panic response go-to. I don't know why I thought, oh God, a vampire handing me a cup of tea was what I went with. Anyway, that brings us to today's weirdness. It's a little feature we're doing on Merris Mondays where we pick a state and then we do the cryptid from that state. And today's state is Rhode Island.
It's not a road or an island.
It's barely a state.
It's false advertisement.
All the way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the Roanoke colony was. We did an episode on that. No mystery. They just died. That's mystery solved.
Mystery solved, yeah.
Yeah. So most state cryptids are dumb as hell. They just are. The Van Meter visitor and its hornlight.
Hornlight.
The Oklahoma fucking octopus. Stupid. But today's cryptid is metal as fuck. It's Mercy Brown, the vampire.
Mercy Brown? Like a person?
Yeah.
And Murphy Brown, that was a show.
I loved that show as a kid. No, Mercy.
Okay.
Mercy.
Yeah.
So maybe I wasn't too far off base to be scared that a vampire was handing me a cup of tea as I play Stardew Valley zooted. Huh? Not only is this cryptid cool as shit and scary, but Mercy Brown started an entire, vampire panic in New England. And you're probably assuming that this was a long time ago, and you would have assumed correctly.
Okay.
You probably think that, old-timey people were dumb as hell. There's no way anyone would believe that shit nowadays. And I counter with, oh, really?
I mean, there's QAnon. Like, I would say modern man is very dumb.
That's in my notes. I said we have QAnon cultists believing that JFK Jr. will come back from the dead to help Trump take back the White House. So, maybe reevaluate things.
Yeah.
People weren't stupid back in the day. I mean, well, they're not any stupider than they are today.
More stupider, because they Jupiter.
Did you just want to rhyme stupider with Jupiter?
That's a normal rhyme.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, anyway, let's get into it. Mercy Brown, the Vampire of Rhode Island.
Yeah.
So it all began in the late 1800s, around 1882, 83, around there. George and Mary Brown, the patriarch and matriarch of the Brown family, lived in Exeter, Rhode Island. George and Mary had a son named Edwin, a daughter named Mary Olive, and another daughter.
Yeah. New gender.
Fuck off. Named Mercy.
Yeah. Mary Olive, by the way, very cute name.
Super cute.
Yeah, that's a great name.
Okay, so in December of 1883, Mary Elizabeth, the matriarch, died from consumption. Now, we call it tuberculosis today. It's a terrible disease, and it ran rampant in the 1800s. It's not as common today and is very treatable, but back then there were kind of no effective treatments, like brown sugar and water was a treatment. That's just sweet. It's not going to do anything.
Do you know there's like a lady in Seattle that got arrested because she'd been running around with tuberculosis?
On purpose?
Yeah.
Is like she Typhoid Mary?
Yeah, basically. That's what they're going on. That's what's going on over there.
Although that's kind of like an urban legend at this point. The real Typhoid Mary wasn't intentionally giving people typhoid.
Wasn't Mary Olive either.
No. So, yeah, it's pretty treatable today. So tuberculosis is a bacteria spread from person to person, usually by coughing. It gets into the lungs, but can spread to the spine and kidneys. It is marked by a bad cough, like you cough up blood and crap. People call it consumption because the afflicted person will sort of waste away as the illness progressed. Why is it linked to vampire stories? Well, because they would say it seemed like the person's very life force was being drained away, perhaps their blood. Mm-hmm. They were just internally bleeding, so...
I mean, they weren't wrong, right?
Well, it wasn't vampires, it was just bacteria.
You could call it vampires. I think it's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. So next to go in the Brown family was Mary Olive at only 20 years old. She passed away shortly after her mother died. She, too, had tuberculosis. Next to fall ill in 1891 was the son, Edwin. Now, Edwin went away to Colorado Springs to a sanitarium to seek treatment for his disease, which was rapidly eroding his health. And he was, according to all accounts, a strapping lad.
Okay.
He was a big boy.
That's old-timey for handsome.
It is. He was a strapping big boy, very corn-fed.
Corn-fed.
If you make fun of me fucking up talking one more time, oh Lord of fucking up talking.
Oh yeah, I'm not good at talking.
No. So this was a common practice kind of for the upper middle class. Sanitariums then weren't just for people with mental health issues or people with diminished capacity. They were also for people with tuberculosis. Edwin did get better during his stay at the sanitarium, and he returned in 1892 to find his youngest sister, Mercy, age 19, had come down with consumption. Mm-hmm. She had been ill for months and was in really bad shape, and she died like pretty much as soon as he got home in January of 1892. Very sad. Mm-hmm. Naturally, George, the patriarch of the family, sought advice from his community. "Why is all of my family dying?" he would say. "What could be done?" It was suggested to George that his entire family line was cursed.
Oh.
Yes. Furthermore, that the women in the family who had died were now undead and actually living off the life force of George and Edwin.
That makes sense.
People believe this because no one else in the community had consumption, so to them it was clear that supernatural forces of evil were at work.
Right.
Women can't even be dead without being blamed for shit, y'all.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't even die.
No, you can't die right. It's your fault that you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will never understand why men are so scared of women. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Touch grass.
Right.
Immediately after being told this load of bullshit, George was pressured by his entire town to have his wife and daughters exhumed so that they could check and make sure that they were really super dead and not running around town slurping up the life force of young men, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They were going to check the corpses of the Brown women to make sure they had no signs of life. Because if they did, the townfolks would remove their internal organs in some weird Eastern European ritual to stop the spread of vampirism. Cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Now, there were voices of reason. Okay, so it's not just like an idiot party. Mm-hmm. Dr. Harold Metcalf, who was the town physician, thought the ritual was dumb as fuck and didn't think it was necessary because he was a man of science and reason.
Right.
However, his advice to George was just let him do it because they're all fucking freaking out. So just let them dig up your family.
Right.
And mutilate their corpses. It's fine.
Mutilate?
Yeah.
Oh.
He was like, because they're going to get unruly, and they're going to come here with, like, pitchforks and shit.
Yeah.
So finally, George agreed because there was a real panic in town. He refused to be present at the exhumation because he was like, I don't want to see this fucked up shit. Mm-hmm. And so he let 4 friends dig up his wife and 2 daughters on March 17th, 1892. Now,
that sounds like a party.
No. So I want to be clear. They weren't digging up Mercy because she's in her coffin, but she was put in a crypt because the ground was too hard to dig in the winter.
Okay, so like stone or?
It was just in I'll have a picture of it up on the Patreon, but it's kind of like a natural stone edifice, and then there's like a wooden door over the crypt.
Okay.
And she was in there, so they took her out of there. Mm-hmm. They dug up her mom and her sister, and so when they looked in both Mary's coffins, Mary Olive and Mary Elizabeth.
Yeah, Mary squared.
Well, they'd been dead for nearly a decade at this point.
Yeah.
And they were bones.
Oh, okay.
You do.
I thought it might be a jump scare there, but...
No, they're bones. But Mercy was not. But she'd only died like a couple months ago, and she'd been frozen all winter.
Right, that makes sense.
But she looked remarkably well preserved. Alarmingly so. Her body was said to have moved in the coffin, too, being in an entirely different position than the one she'd been placed in. Her hair and nails had grown a lot. Now, here's where I could give you the science reasons as to why that's so, that when the body decomposes, hair seems to grow because the scalp shrinks, and nails for the same reason pretty much. It only seems like they're growing, but we're having fun, and science is a wet blanket, so right. I'm moving on.
Yeah, we want zombies.
I want vampires.
Yeah, zombie vampires.
So Dr. Metcalf tried telling the townsfolk that this was all like natural and common after death, but everybody was whipped into a fine froth, and they weren't having it. Okay. They were like, no, it's vampires. And Dr. Metcalf was like, no, listen, no, this is just what happens when your body decays. And like, no, it isn't. Yep. And he's like, but I went to medical school. And they're like, shut up.
Right. Dr. Vampire.
Dr. Vampire. So to them, this was proof that Mercy was the one causing all the death and despair in the Brown family, and the whole town was next, obviously. She was the one who cursed them, and now she was draining Edwin's life force from beyond the grave. And something had to be done to stop her.
Right, she's a lich.
Obviously. Yeah. So the townsfolk cut out her heart and liver, burned them on a rock, and the ashes were mixed with water, and Edwin was made to drink this nasty shit.
That should do it. That should do it.
That should totally clear his tuberculosis right on up.
Yeah. Ooh, bleh.
So if you are or have ever been a smoker, you've probably ashed in an old soda can on your night table. And then, if you're like me, you've forgotten you have done that nasty shit and lazy nonsense.
Don't say it. I'm going to throw it.
And then you take a big early morning swig of said soda can, only to realize in horror seconds later that you done fucked up.
Yep.
So now you're like sputtering, and blacking and all. And I'm almost 100% sure that's how Mercy's burned up heart and liver tasted.
Yep.
Gross.
Picture.
Huh?
You paint a picture.
I do. It's my job. I paint pictures.
Yeah.
Like it's literally my job.
Literally, yeah.
Your job too, as a matter of fact.
Right.
Yeah. So here is poor sick Edwin drinking his sister's ashes and trying to get well. So did it work? No. Edwin died on May 2nd, 1892. He was only 24 years old. After her brother's death, Mercy's body was finally reburied.
Ugh.
Right?
That's so gross.
And I just want to say that...
You ever, as a kid, like, gone through the cabinets and, like, made a cup of the grossest stuff all mixed together?
No.
Oh.
Did you?
I feel like I've probably done that.
Yeah, here's something that we would do as kids. Okay, so if you are in a southern state, you are familiar with Quick Trip.
Yeah, okay.
And Quick Trip promises you can become a mixologist.
Oh.
What's a mixologist? I don't fucking know. It's somebody who mixes up various...
All the gasoline, or...
No, it's for their soda fountain.
Oh, okay.
And so, as kids, of course, we'd go in there and be like, I put all the sodas and all the flavorings into one cup, drink it. It's like that. And it was fucking gross.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be as gross as Mercy's, like, burned up heart and liver.
No, that's still grosser, yeah.
It's way grosser. So in 1981, a descendant of the Browns, Everett Peck, which is an amazing name, had a theory about Mercy Brown. He believed she'd been buried alive, and that's why she had changed positions in her coffin. Now, I'm not saying that was like that's unheard of. It did happen. People did get buried alive back then. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like didn't happen a lot, but it happened enough that it was a thing. But can't stress enough how violent decomposition is.
You're gonna make it. You're gonna
yes.
talk. Okay, you're gonna talk about gross stuff.
Oh, I'm going to talk about gross stuff because I love it.
Gross stuff.
Okay, so when your body kicks the bucket, immediately bacteria starts going crazy in there to start the decomposition process, and your body bloats up with gas from all the bacteria farting.
I'm also bloating up with gas.
You were the most flatulent man I've ever met.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't know why. You got to have some flaws.
Yeah.
You can't be perfect.
Well,
you're just going to be farty.
Yeah.
So basically, when you have this gas buildup, it has to go somewhere. And it does. Sometimes people just pop like a fucking balloon.
That would be me when I'm dead.
Probably. And so that is going to cause movement of the body as it decomposes. And if you want to see this happen, you can go onto YouTube and look up the body farm in Kentucky.
No, please don't do that.
I didn't even talk about coffin birth.
Oh, please don't do that either.
I'm not gonna. But yeah, that's why the bodies move. Yes, even dead ones. So Everett had some weird shit to back up his idea, though. He said that in 1960, he'd visited Mercy's grave and witnessed a bright ball of light hovering over her grave. And this scared the bejesus out of him, which understandable.
Scared me too.
He believed her spirit was tormented and not at rest because she'd been buried alive, and then her corpse was desecrated. And, that's not a bad theory. If someone did that to me, I'd haunt the shit out of them, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no one took Everett seriously in Exeter. In fact, they made fun of him in the newspapers, which is very rude.
Yeah.
They implied his entire family was a bunch of cuckoo bananas, superstitious, and uneducated idiots, basically. And I don't think Everett said anything that wild. He said, I think Mercy's haunting the graveyard, and she was buried alive. That's not that weird.
I mean, a little bit weird, but not,
We have said, seen, and thought weirder things.
That's true, yeah.
Shit, I've seen people say weirder stuff on Facebook.
Right. That's true.
You know who I'm talking about.
There's a couple people.
Look, let's be honest. Sometimes you keep someone on your Facebook, not because they're your friend or that you like them or even find them interesting, but they post weird, crazy shit, and you're just there for the show.
Yeah.
I'm there for the show.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I had to defriend this person. They pissed me off too much, but I make Maris read the post to me. We're fucked up. Okay, so what's more, even back when it happened, papers in nearby cities made fun of the townspeople of Exeter. The Providence paper said that they were all a bunch of hayseed ding-dongs who weren't educated enough in science to know what they were doing, and that they were hella stupid.
Right.
Which is rude.
Rude, but yeah.
Everett claimed he'd never even heard about the vampire stories until people started showing up at the grave and defacing it, holding night vigils and doing tourist shit. The legend of Mercy Brown, the vampire, had gained some popularity, and now Exeter was a tourist stop for those who liked the strange and unusual. Mm-hmm. People defacing the grave were chipping at the headstone and taking pieces with them, which is fucked up.
That is rude, yeah.
And an excellent way to get your house haunted.
That is true, yeah.
Don't do that shit. In fact, in 1996, someone stole the entire headstone, like an asshole.
Oh, yeah.
And it's still not known to this day who took it, and I doubt we'll ever know. Some dumbass edgelord, I'm sure.
Right.
Anyway, they returned it a week later.
Cowards.
I bet it haunted their shit.
Yeah, right.
Mercy Brown was the last person in the United States to be exhumed under the pretense that she was a vampire cursing the town and drinking the blood of her relatives. Yes, it did happen more than once.
Right.
Which, that's what gets me, right?
This happens a lot.
What was a vampire panic?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's that story. And here's where I'm pissed off, okay?
Okay.
So I went and I have a web page, and I looked at several of cryptids by state, like the most famous cryptid in every state.
Yeah.
For Iowa, it's a Van Meter visitor. Mm-hmm. Oklahoma, it's Oklahoma octopus.
Yeah.
Ours is the fucker.
For Arkansas?
Yeah.
I thought we had the Arkansas howler.
Nope, it's the fucker.
What's that?
It's not spelled like Fucker. It's spelled like Fokker.
Oh.
But I'm going to call it the fucker.
Okay, that's fair.
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
And these are all monstery type things, like a chupacabra, like a Jersey Devil.
Cryptid.
It's a cryptid. Whatever the Van Meter visitor is, pterodactyl
This is a
man.
person.
But this is just a person who was actually alive. And I want to ask you this. Is a vampire even a proper cryptid? I don't think so. Thought cryptids were supposed to be critters.
I think you could argue it.
I'm going to argue against it. I don't think this is a cryptid at all. Rhode Island, can you not do anything right?
They can't be large.
They're fucking small.
They're very small.
Their settlers died.
I wonder if we even have any listeners in there.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Oh, they're like,
sorry,
they're
Rhode
like, this
Island.
is me. This is my episode. It's my time to shine.
And then they're like, wow, getting insulted. Fuck you, Lillian.
Yeah, right.
I've never been to Rhode Island. I'm sure it's lovely.
They could make fun of our state real easy, so I probably shouldn't. say
Oh,
them.
go for it.
Yeah.
We're the sister fucker state.
Oh my god.
If
Yeah.
you ask anyone, which is, I would say it's
There's
more
nothing nice to
Alabama,
say
but
about
okay.
it. No.
Or fucking West Virginia. God.
Right. We got Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Sarah Fuckabee.
Right, that's right.
Bitch looks like one of her eyes sliding off her head and trying to run away.
Yeah.
Who dressed her?
Her Meemaw?
Mama picked this frock out for me. She just... Honey, I just want to say whoever's doing your makeup and your clothes needs to be fired. And you need to hire a queer. You need help.
She's ready to boot, scoot, and boogie.
I wish she'd boot scoot boogie on into hell where she belongs.
Yeah.
She sucks, y'all. A lot of anti-trans legislation. We're allowed to be mad, and if you don't like it,
Oh,
well,
don't
you know what you
forget
can
the
do.
child labor. That's my favorite thing.
Oh yeah, she approved like child labor laws, so now our kids can go to the mines.
Go back to the mines. They yearn for the mines.
No, let the children free of the mines.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up, and it pisses me off, and I think I have every right to be pissed.
I agree, yeah.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
I'm booty bothered.
Booty bothered. Let's move to Rhode Island. They got
I
vampires.
voted for the other guy, for the record.
Oh, Chris Jones.
He was
That guy.
cool.
Yeah, that guy rules.
She drools.
He didn't pay me anything to say that.
No, he did not.
No.
And you know what? He didn't want the children to go to the mines. Fuck you, Sarah
He was also
Fuckabee.
for abortion rights.
Yeah.
That's why I was like,
Yeetus the
I'll let that
fetus.
guy, yeah.
And if that makes you mad, I don't fucking care. Because I was talking to a friend of mine. Yeah, I have friends. And not just Willow and Maris. I have friends that are more than them outside of this house.
yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine who's experiencing some bullshit harassment due to having a trans child. And, well, that makes me mad. And I was talking to her, and she was like, well, I try and be reasonable. I was like, that's the left's problem, is they got the Alex Jones and the fucking Ben Shapiro. I'm going to kill him, little twerp. I just hate him. I just want to pop his head off. Pop. Just squeeze him.
Oh, that could be like death threats. You don't want that.
Oh, well, I don't want to, not literally, because then he can't suffer.
Right.
I just want to make fun of him until he wishes he were no longer alive. That's all. Is that too much to ask?
Bully him, yeah.
I want to bully Ben Shapiro. I want to push him in a locker and give him a wedgie.
Yeah.
Virtually harmless. Anyway, yeah, I was saying that's the problem is like we have all these people saying a bunch of messed up stuff and they're rude and we try and counter this by being polite and reasonable. Time to be unhinged and crazy and say crazy mean shit.
Yeah.
Give as good as you get. Be a mirror. If someone comes at you at like Thanksgiving, your uncle's like, I don't like black people. So you're like, you know what? I don't like you, Uncle Roy.
Right? Punch back.
And say, you know what? You're ugly.
Right?
And you're smelly and nobody likes you and everyone thinks your stories are stupid. Go play in traffic. Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm going to go eat my turkey in the garage. I'd rather be around the garbage than you.
Right.
It's time to hit back, is what I'm saying.
I agree.
You can't reason with a Nazi. You can't reason with a bigot. So don't. Just be mean until they shut up and go away because that's what they've been doing to us.
Pride
Turn
Month is
the
now
tables.
wrath.
The worm needs to turn and be rude.
That's right. I agree with rude worms.
Yeah. So if somebody says something and you're like, whoa, hi, well, that's fucked up. Tell them it's fucked up and they're fucked up.
Yeah.
No safe harbor.
No safe harbor, snowflakes.
It's time for them to be uncomfortable. And don't be scared because here's my key. because I live in Redneckville. I live in the reddest red that ever redded.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And how do I survive? By being a big, fat, witchy nightmare to these people? Mm-hmm. Well, I act 10 times crazier than they do.
Yeah.
If somebody comes at you with crazy, you ramp it up to 11 and just like froth at the mouth and say wild stuff like, I'm going to eat you from your feet to your head. And they're like, ah.
Yeah, right.
And I'm just saying, I just think we shouldn't be polite to people who want other people to not even be alive.
Yep.
I think that we should act as crazy as the stuff they're saying to us.
Yeah.
I think it's time for soup for the family, and pride started with a brick, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Pride
get
is
your
now
brick.
wrath. Yep.
It's wrath. Crazy wrath. I've had enough.
That's right.
So here's my segue into business time.
Business time.
Business time. You know what's not crazy, Maris?
I don't know. Everything's pretty nuts right now.
Our small business showcase for today.
Oh, dang.
Tiny Sea Crafts. They make really cute masks, mini backpacks, mouse ear headbands,
That's
bibs,
cute.
keychains, scarves, hair accessories, totes, and more. And they have a great selection of fabrics, like really cute, like spooky fabrics if you're into like gothy stuff.
Hell yeah.
And like kind of cottage core things, a lot of cute stuff. And you can choose those on their website, on the website. So like if you want to pick out like a really cute key fob or something,
Right.
you can pick the fabric that it's in. And I think that's really neat that it's customizable.
I like that. That's neat.
Indeed. And I've received several things from Tiny Sea Crafts. They're all exceptionally well made. The craftsmanship is very nice. And if you go to their website and use code TBAG at checkout, you will get a discount.
Wow.
And so, yeah, I'll link all of their socials and their website in the comments. Go check them out. When I say cute, I mean there's a lot of really tons of cute stuff.
Right.
Yeah. And we only will represent small businesses that I think are quality products.
For sure.
Yeah, because my name is attached to it now. But yes, anyway, there are small business for the week. So do you have a small business? Would you like me to, do a little commercial for it, basically, in our business time section? Then all you need to do is email me and we will work out the deets, as they say in the
Awesome.
biz.
That's cool. Commercials.
Yeah, and here's my requirements though. If you're like doing multi-level marketing with like them shitty leggings, shitty makeup, or like shitty essential oils, Girl number 1, you're in a cult. Call your dad. Number 2, it's a scam. Number 3, you need to make it with your own little hands.
Because we make stuff, so...
With your sweet baby hands,
Yeah.
you need to make it.
So you have stuff you made, because we make stuff. I make paintings, and you make, like, soap and all kinds of stuff.
I make everything, yeah.
So we could do a commercial if you make stuff.
That's right, and I will, and it'll be good. You notice that transition back there. It
Yeah.
was excellent. I'm a real professional.
We're not. We're a completely independent podcast.
Oh, yeah,
But,
okay.
I mean...
But you get what you get.
You get what you pay for.
Which you didn't pay, so you don't get nothing.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving right along. Hey, Maris.
What is it?
I do tarot card readings, and I have for nearly 30 years.
Holy crap.
And remember the last tarot card reading I did for you? It made you mad?
Yes, it did. I was mad, and I said, why don't you do a tarot reading for your tarot deck? And told it to
Go fuck itself.
put
Yeah.
its cards where,
Yeah.
where the sun don't shine.
Is that because it was accurate
Yeah.
and hurt your feelings a little bit?
Uh-huh.
Yes. So if you want to, you can go check out my reviews, too, on my Facebook page. I really pride myself on being not only accurate, but, I don't know, I try and be inspirational, too. Clearly, if you want a tarot card reading, you're having something, you have an issue that's bothering you. And so I like to talk it over and, have a nice discussion, because the cards will tell you what you need to do to overcome your BS. It's usually dump him.
Dump him. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst. I've had 3 of them this week. That was all the cards are just your relationship is garbage. Dump him.
It's a tower card.
Death card, tower card, death card, tower card. Jesus Christ. Yeah. But
Devil card.
it also means I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If you want a tarot card reading from me, I am running a little special right now on relationship readings. And you just go to my Facebook page for my tarot card readings. And you don't need a code. I'm just running this special on my
You
Facebook
could also get a
page.
star map, too.
Let me explain.
Yeah.
I'm also bundling together a tarot reading by me and a illustrated birth chart by by Merris. And what is this? It doesn't have to be your birthday, but any special day, be it a anniversary of someone's death, your marriage, the birth of a child, your birthday, whatever. Merris will illustrate the position of the stars on that day.
It's really cool.
It is really cool. Yeah. I love mine. And people are just absolutely over the moon for theirs. So you can bundle a tarot card reading and a star map. They make wonderful, wonderful gifts. People are always like super touched by them. So yeah, just email me if you want any of that, and I'll get y'all hooked up.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, we have a Patreon.
Yeah.
And Patreon perks are really good. In fact, our patrons chose the theme of this month, Caught on Camera, which has actually been really interesting to research. I've really enjoyed this theme so far. They also get an additional episode every single week. There's all kinds of perks. So go there and check it out. Also, if you want to see the case photos, those are all public posts. You don't need to be a patron to enjoy those. Just go on there and look. And the last little bit of business time today, we're running a giveaway.
Dang.
Yeah. So you say, Lillian, what must I do? Well, it's simple. Go to our Discord, join it, and you'll find the link to Discord in our link tree. Don't be scared. Click on it. And post a picture of what you made for dinner or your dog or something, and then I will enter you to win a $5 from me. And you may say, Lillian, that's stupid. No, it's not. I'm giving you a free month of Patreon so you can try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That sounds good.
And if you just take the $5 and tell me to go fuck myself, that's fine too. I mean, it's kind of rude.
Right.
But I wish you didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, you won. Why are you being mean?
Right. Why are you mean?
Or if you're like, you know what, Lillian, what I really want is a cheeseburger. I'd be like, well, go get you a cheeseburger,
Me too.
girl. That's fine.
Yeah.
Fuck, I want a cheeseburger
Yeah.
now.
Let's go get some cheeseburger.
Do you want to go get some cheeseburgers?
Yeah.
Or we're going to fuck off and get some cheeseburgers. But hey, if all you can do to support this podcast is listen, I appreciate it. Thank you. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Us on your social media platform of choice. Linktree/cruelty has all the links. Check out our Patreon for exclusive episodes, merch, ad-free episodes, live ghost hunts, and much more. Please be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded weekly. Thank you so much. See you next time. Music and production by Lee.